Hey, Shalom, welcome to Rakam Akapash from Jim Islam, giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bashem Chachwadash. Want to give double honors unto the elders, the apostles of GMS, and Shalom out there to the hopeful elect, pushing his truth in all sincerity. Back again with another video. I'm going to entitle this one, Some Men Are Not Cut Out for This Ministry. Right, and so I'm going to open up with this scripture here, Matthew 22, verse 14, right? Which says, For many are called, but few are chosen, right? So, many men come into this truth, right, into this ministry, into this work, right, and believing in themselves to be men of the Lord, all right, but just because you heard this truth, you received this truth, right, doesn't mean you're of the elect, right? The only way we can establish if we're of the elect is if we endure until the end with sound doctrine, okay, with sincerity, with faith, with integrity, right? Only if we endure unto the end with those things can we be, deemed as part of the Lord's elect, right? The men that are ultimately going to be delivered and saved at the end of it, okay, which they are also predestined, right? You have to, they were chosen from the beginning, right, before they did any works, right? Already predetermined by the Heavenly Father who his elect is, right? And so just because we walk into this truth, we get drawn into this truth and we're out there on the highways, byways, we're doing videos and stuff like that. Many of men have come in and done those things and have done it well, right? But at some point, they fell off, lost faith, and, were cast out, right? So it's not enough, to just know you're a Hebrew Israelite or to have done some type of works for some amount of time and all that stuff, right? But you have to endure with it. You have to endure the sufferings. Okay, you have to endure the persecutions. You have to go through things. Right, these are all things demanded of us, man. Right, we have to give our bodies as a living sacrifice. So there's things that we need to go through and that we need to endure to really be worthy of the reward, to be worthy of the glory, to be worthy of the Lord's, or being of the Lord's elect. And I say, even though it's already been decided who they are, right? But to us, we don't know. We won't know until we're on a chariot, right? But the elect are going to be tested and tried, right, for their faith, for their integrity, right, for their sincerity. Okay, they're going to be tried for all these things, right? So you're going to go through persecutions, right? Okay, you're going to go through trying times, right? But a lot of times when these things come upon men that are not of the elect, that are that they were in this truth at one point, okay, they get offended and they get upset. They don't understand because why is this happening to me, or whatever the case may be, right? And they start bugging out because they lack understanding, or they blame somebody else, for their lack of faith, because they were done wrong, or they thought they were done wrong by something, and so they got reason to blame this and blame that, and then blame the ministry for this, and and even if something were to happen where you was wronged, right? Let's say you was kicked out or whatever, something happened, whatever the case may be, that does not give you an excuse, right, to pervert the gospel, right, to stop teaching, to stop doing the work. It doesn't give you those excuses, right? So if you find yourself doing that's on you. That's on you. You can't blame nobody else, for that. That's ultimately you, right? And the fact that the Lord is taking the spirit away from you because you're not part of His chosen, right? So again, as it says, many are called, but few are chosen, right? So I want to get that point first, but I'm going to read from verse. I'm going to read from verse 8, right? Just to read through this little bit here. So then saith he to his servants, the wedding is ready, but they which were bidden were not worthy, right? It's all about being worthy. Go ye therefore into the highways, and as many as ye find, bid to the marriage, right? So anybody that will hear, tell them to come, right? Go ye therefore into the highways, and as many as you find bid to the marriage. So those servants went out into the highways and gathered together all as many as they found, both bad and good. Right? So anybody that would hear, right? Basically. And the wedding was furnished with guests. Right? And when the king came in to see the guests, and he saw there a man which had not a wedding garment, right? Because he ain't dressed for the occasion. He's not ready for the occasion. All right. He said unto him, Friend, how camest thou in hither, not having a wedding garment? Right? And he was speechless. Then said the king to the servants, Bind him hand and foot, and take him away, and cast him into outer darkness. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. To verse 14. For many are called, but few are chosen. Few are actually worthy to be at the wedding. You know, many people are called into this work, right? And they're preparing themselves, because that's what the clothing is preparing ourselves with this truth, right? Making ourselves holy in the sight of the Lord. Okay. So we're prepping ourselves, right? But if you're not really about this, your heart's not really in the right place, and you're not really doing this in sincerity, right? You're naked. You're missing the appropriate garment, right? You're not really clothed with this truth, right? And so you're going to be cast out, cast aside, right? And nothing but judgment is awaiting you. All right. So some men are not cut out to be men of the Lord. They just don't have what it takes, because the Lord is not giving them that spirit, for them to do the things that are worthy of the elect. All right, to be men of the Lord, right? So I say we've seen seen it many times over the years. People come and go, bug out, start complaining, for this, that, or whatever reason. Some of them even start their own groups, and a lot of these groups just disappear and fade away over time, because they were never right anyway. We see it. The elders and apostles, they've seen it so many times over the years. All right, but this is just part of the the word. This is from Matthew chapter 13 and verse 20. It says, "But he that received the seed into stone," this is the parable of the seeds, right? The parable of the sower. Is it sower? Yeah, parable of the sower, right? It says, let me read from, I must read from 18, right? So hear ye therefore the parable of the sower. When anyone heareth the word of the kingdom and understandeth not, then cometh the wicked one and catcheth away that which was sown in his heart. This is he which received the seed by the wayside. But he that received the seed into stony places, the same is he that heareth the word and anon with joy receive it, right? So these guys that obviously come in, right? They receive the word and they were happy about it, right? Verse 21, yet have he not root in himself, but dureth for a while, right? But you have to endure unto the end, not just for a while. We was going into a camp at the weekend, about these different times, year 2000, and where a whole bunch of people fell off because they thought the law was going to turn up in the year 2000, and a lot of men didn't carry on teaching. A lot of men didn't continue to show faith that the law was going to return, and just went back into the world because they thought the law wouldn't be coming. Then they were fed up and tired of waiting. They had lost patience. Okay, the scripture warns about that. Okay, if you want to get grabbed later, So these things happen. It's here to sift out those who are not worthy, right? So these are these types of individuals, right? So yet he have not root in himself, but dureth for a while. For when tribulation or persecution ariseth because of the word, by and by he is offended, right? You start to complain, and you become annoyed or disheartened that these things are coming upon you. Okay, you're showing this supposed diligence and commitment to serving the Lord, but all you're doing is catching hell. Well, that's to be expected, right? Things are not just going to automatically going to become blessed for you just because you're serving the Lord. The Lord is constantly testing us, okay, whether or not we're in the truth or not, whether or not we deserve of the salvation. So things are not going to be things are not going to be smooth sailing. Straight is the way that leads to salvation. Okay, straight means difficulty. All right, things are going to be difficult on this walk. All right, on this road that we're on. But some people can't take it. No, it's too much for them. Right? It says, verse 22, he also that receives seed among the thorns is he that heareth the word, and the care of this world and the deceitfulness of riches choke the word and it becometh unfruitful. Right? So those that miss the world, because they can't do all the things that they used to do back in the world, or there's worldly ambitions that they have, that they want to pursue, that wouldn't be right to pursue in this truth. And you got guys here trying to merge the two together, things of the world and the gospel, the truth, right? To kind of try and do both at the same time, but you can't serve God and mammon, right? But a lot of these Israelite camps, they're trying to do both, trying to appease, or so-called quote unquote please the Lord by doing this work, but at the same time pursuing worldly lusts, and worldly enterprises and interventions in all these kinds of things. All right, but it says it becomes unfruitful. Okay, so that's these characters, okay, that come in and corrupt themselves and fall out. This is 1 John chapter 2 verse 19. Said they went out from us, but they were not of us. Right, so they came in amongst us, but they didn't stay. They didn't endure. Right, so they went out. Right, so they went out from us, but they were not of us. So don't worry about them. They left, but that's because they weren't of us. Right, for if they had been of us, they would have no doubt have continued with us. They would have stayed, right, and continued teaching how they were taught. Right, but they went out that they might be made manifest that they were not all of us, right? Because many are called, a few are chosen, right? The elect have received it, and the rest were blinded. Okay? That's how it is. This is 2 Timothy chapter 4, verse 3. It says, for the time will come when they will not endure sound doctrine. Okay, that word endure again, right? They will corrupt themselves, right? It says, but after their own lust shall they heap to themselves teachers having itching ears. Right? So they'll be drawn away from the doctrine and the path that they were on, the straight path, right? And give heed to false doctrines. Ones that sound more pleasant to the ears, more easy to do. Things that fulfill the lust of their own heart. Right? But that's you going astray now. Okay, that's not you holding true and firm to the doctrine that you was taught. Right? Because these witches out here, man, they're speaking things that are enticing to you, these demons, right? You fall off and follow these demons. Right? Verse 4 says, and they shall turn away their ears from the truth and shall be turned unto fables. Right? And that's what happens. Oh yeah, we ain't gonna go out there. We ain't gonna go out there all seasons and be out there in the snow and the cold and all these kind of things. It's just there's things like, yeah, you know what, yeah, I always hate going out in the cold. Man, we all hate going out in the fucking cold, man. It's fucking cold. But we gotta do it. Right? Give our bodies up as a living sacrifice, man. Be in season and out of season. Giving all diligence, right? It's just part of what we have to do. Right? And there is obviously some extreme cases where we can't go out. But like we don't make excuses in terms of like, or we're just gonna take the whole winter off because it's cold. Like we know it's cold. It's always fucking cold. Every year it's cold. What does that mean? What, we take half the year off because the climate conditions are not always favorable. So where we teach half the year, you go out half the year. Fuck it. Too hot, too cold. Part-time profits, right? That's what it sounds like to me. But people hear these things and they like the idea of this camp, they don't go out in the winter. Yeah, that winter stuff's trash because ain't nobody out there anyway. It's just cold. Just cold out there, man. You know, these are all excuses that people find that, to not do the work, or to be lazy, right? And just not do what they're supposed to be doing. Because really, they don't want to do it. They don't want to do it. They just want to save face. So they make excuses, you know? They make excuses, but they really don't want to do it. They don't want to conform themselves to the word and to the commandments, right? They want to make their own commandments. They want to make their own word. You know, they want to wear fitted caps. They want to do all these things, right? Because it suits them. That's what they like. That's how I like it. Right? That's how they like it. Right? And so, but as I said, you've gone off the path now. You turn this thing into your own thing. It's not the gospel of the Lord anymore. It's your gospel. Your words. You know. Right. I want to read on for a minute. Right. It says verse 5. But watch thou in all things endure afflictions. Right. Things that are difficult. So things that you have to suffer. Right. Do the work of an evangelist. Make full proof of thy ministry. For I am ready now, for I am now ready, Slakia, to be offered, and the time of my departure is at hand. I have fought a good fight. I have finished my course. I have kept the faith. Okay, we have to keep the faith until the end. All right, so henceforth there is laid up for me a crown of righteousness, which the Lord, the righteous judge, shall give me at that day, and not only to me only, but unto all them that also love his appearing. All right, and this is what we're all, hoping to achieve, in this ministry, man, to please the Lord. You know, it's Matthew chapter 24, verse 13. But he that shall endure until the end, the same shall be saved. Right. So it's all about reaching that finish line. Right. You might be battered and bruised by the time you get there, but our main goal is to reach that finish line. Right. To continuing the things that we were taught, not to be swayed or corrupted by others, by other false teachers and naysayers, and all the pressure and the stress, the afflictions, the persecution, not to be swayed by any of those things, not to be separated from the love of Yahweh Shai, because the scripture speaks about, nothing being able to do that. No powers, no angels, no nothing. If you're a true man of the Lord, none of these things are going to sway you, right? You ain't going to be affected, because a brother upset you or whatever the case may be. You ain't going to be swayed by these things. You're going to continue in the path of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai and teaching this truth. Okay. This is Luke chapter 12, verse 45. Also verse 43 here, right? It says, blessed is that servant whom his Lord, when he cometh, shall find so doing. Right? Because we will have to work, right? We're not here to just sit around and do nothing, because we don't know when the Lord ultimately going to turn up. Like, you don't know that our day is going to turn up. So we always have to be working. We have to be ready, because you don't want to. If you don't want to turn up, man, you're sitting on your damn fucking arse, man, when you're supposed to be working. Okay, you ain't good. That ain't gonna be a good moment for you, And so we always have to be working just because of that, right? We always have to be ready and prepared, right? Because we don't know when the Lord is going to turn up. Exactly. All right. So it said, blessed is that servant whom his Lord, when he cometh, shall find himself doing. Of a truth I say unto you, that he will make him ruler over all that he have. Right. So again, this comparison to these guys that take the winter off or whatever, that just take time off, guys that left, come back 20 years later, some shit, all those types of, breaks and whatever, right? How can you do that when you know the Lord could turn up at any moment, right? And all you're gonna have is a bag full of excuses, right? You weren't told to take breaks, you're just told to be instant in season, out of season, right? You weren't told to take breaks. So the Lord turns up now and it's like, well, it's cold, that's why we ain't out there, but you're gonna get your ass beat, you know. Anyway, verse 45 says, and if that servant say in his heart, my Lord delay if he's coming, like, there's no pressure, there's no urgency, because the Lord ain't coming anytime soon anyway. And that's the ultimate mindset of these other camps, especially IUIC and guys like that. Like they're here for the long haul, like long haul. They want to build their own Israelite kingdom here in Babylon, because they just don't believe it's going to be destroyed. They don't believe the Lord's coming back like that. They don't even talk about the destruction of America that often, or too tough. But they are extremely interested and driven on building things to establish their organization and their brand and whatever. Why they got all those millions and all that kind of stuff, and what they're doing in this community, that community, this and that community, right? They're always talking about what they're doing or what they plan to do, right? But these men ain't so diligent when it comes to going out there in the winter and shit. Doing the work of the Lord is what they're supposed to be doing. But anyway, he says, but if that servant say in his heart, my Lord delay if he's coming, and shall bring to beat the men servants and maidens, and to eat and drink and to be drunken, right? So you persecute, the servants are out there doing the work, right? The Lord, that servant will come in a day when he looketh for him not, or looketh not for him, and at an hour when he is not aware, and will cut him asunder, and will appoint him his portion with the unbelievers. Right? Because if you believe, you'd be out there doing what you was commanded to do. Right? You wouldn't be like, like I said, you didn't see the urgency. You didn't know when the Lord was going to come back, but you thought, oh, it'd be cool just to slack off anyway. Bro, you got your damn fucking mind. You don't know when the Lord's coming back. So why would you do that? Why would you run that risk? And that servant which knew his Lord's will, right, and prepared not himself, neither did according to his will, shall be beaten with many stripes. Right? But he that knew not and did commit things worthy of stripes shall be beaten with few stripes. For unto whomsoever much is given, of him shall be much required, and to whom men have committed much, of him they will ask the more. All right. So you're meant to be diligent in this work, man. Do what the Lord commands us to do. All right. But like I said, for some people that's too much, and they don't want to do the work. They don't want to do their videos. They don't want to go out in the highways and byways. They don't want to suffer persecution. Like, all this thing is just too much for them. They just don't want to deal with it. They don't want to be told what they can and can't do. They want to grow their hair. They want to have their lineups. They're just being rebellious. They don't actually want to conform to this world at all. But they just want to be an Israelite because it's cool, or makes them feel good, right? But there ain't no point being an Israelite if you're gonna be destroyed. I'm sure that's not what you're envisioning when you come joining this in this thing. Becoming or believing or understanding that you're a Hebrew Israelite, but that's not what you're envisioning. So why would you play for second place or whatever? Your consolations or whatever, however you want to put it. Right? If you're gonna come in, man, you gotta go all in. And be dedicated to it. Right? Do what's asked of you. Not coming to these things like, what, I'm kind of tired of it now. And this is why you have to count the cost, man. You have to know, are you capable of performing these things, or at least believe that you're capable of doing it. Because no man knows until he's doing it. But you have to at least believe that you're capable of doing it. This is Sirach chapter 2, verse 13. It says, woe unto him that is faint-hearted. Start from here. It says, woe unto him that is faint-hearted, for he believeth not. Therefore shall he not be defended. Woe unto you that have lost patience. These people lose patience, man. They really just want to, go after the lust of their flesh. You know, they don't have the patience and the faith to believe in something that's not materialized as of yet. You know, the reward and such, right? It says, woe unto you that have lost patience, and what will you do when the Lord shall visit you? Right? They that fear the Lord will not disobey his word, and they that love him will keep his ways. They that fear the Lord will seek that which is well pleasing unto him, and they that love him shall be filled with the law. They that fear the Lord will prepare their hearts and humble their souls in his sight, saying, we will fall into the hands of the Lord and not into the hands of men, for as his majesty is, so is his mercy. Right? Which is infinite. Okay? So yeah, you know, these men become faint-hearted, lost faith. You start acting out, you know, start complaining and shit, rather than just going up your loins and deal with it, because hey, we're here to receive persecutions, right? Just deal with it and be faithful to the Lord. That's your main priority. Be faithful to the Lord and to his teachings, man, and teach. That is your main priority, man. In 2 Peter chapter 2, verse 2, I'm gonna close out with this, right? It says, verse 20, for if after they have escaped the pollutions of the world through the knowledge of the Lord and our Savior, Yahweh Shai Mashiach, they are again entangled therein, you'll go back into the world after, you know, find that, you know, the truth, okay, this knowledge, right? So they are again entangled therein and overcome. The latter end is worse with them than the beginning, right? So it's better that you just remain ignorant, man. But you can't learn this truth and then discard it, right? That is, you know, a big mistake. Because the things are going to be worse for you than after, you know, had you not known at all, right? Because now it's like that's like a total ultimate disrespect, man. Like you know, you got this treasure, this truth, and you just like you don't see no value in it. You cast it aside, just like Cain did. Sorry, just like well, he did too, but just like Esau did. You know, what birthright have what does birthright profit me? It's like this truth, you don't see it has any benefit or any profit to you. So you're just going to go back into the world because you think the world has more to offer you than this word. Just because the word, you know, being in this ministry demands discipline. You know, it demands discipline, man, and you niggas ain't disciplined. You know, disciplined enough to do what needs to be done. You know, but it says the latter end is worse with them than the beginning. Right? For it had been better for them not to have known the way of righteousness, than after they have known it, to turn from the holy commandment delivered unto them. But it has happened unto them according to the true proverb, the dog is turned to his own vomit again, and the soul that was washed to her wallowing in the mire. Right? So there's going to be individuals and characters that do this, man, because it's written here. Right? People are going to return back to their own vomit, back to their old ways, man. But they're in for a greater damnation, a greater judgment. You know, it goes back to the beginning. Many are called, few are chosen. Right? The Lord is not, you know, choosing or picking everybody that comes in that acknowledges them, you know, themselves to be a Hebrew Israelite. They ain't all got the truth. It's as simple as that. The Lord is looking for his elect, and even though these men might come in for a little while and they might prove to be useful, a useful tool to some level, only they're not the ones being chosen. You know, and they end up going back into the world and continuing in their folly until the day of their judgment comes. You know, and that's just what it is for them. All right, you know, I got to go to the fucking plantation now, so you know I'm gonna end it there. Lord, when this has been edifying, and I'll catch you brothers and sisters on the next video. Till next time, I say shalom.